So we're here ready to do our new podcast where we interview professionals, businesses, community organizations, and more.
But I thought we were here to interview artists.
Well, yeah, we're going to be interviewing all types of artists, musicians, poets, singers, dancers, painters, whatever your craft is. We welcome you to come to our podcast and tell us who you are, locally and abroad.
Or is it more about relationships and why those in love wear matching outfits?
Well, to each his own when it comes to outfits. We like to dress alike, of course. And it does matter how we look, both individually and as a couple. We represent each other, right?
Right. So, since you said that, shouldn't this really be about beauty?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to share some of my beauty tips, of course. I mean, that's what I do. Oh, yes, darling, because you do know that I am a Mary Kay consultant, and I've got to let them in on some of my secrets. Anyway, because when you look good, you feel good.
Speaking of look good, feel good, that reminds me that this is more about the vegan, plant-based lifestyle, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Plant-based living saved my life. Fighting diabetes, changing my lifestyle to the vegan lifestyle has really, really improved my health. And so we're going to show everybody how to eat right, tasty dishes that are good for you, and have some guests who can help us with those culinary arts.
That's what's up. So what about the reflections and encouragement of the day? Isn't that what it's really about?
I think at the end of the day, people are going to want to know, what is ChynaGroove? I'm China Doll.
I'm D-Groove.
And together, we are ChynaGroove.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Herman Taylor jamming over there. Can you hear us, sir? You got yourself muted, I think.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. How's
There he is.
everything today?
I'm on top of the world. How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you both.
Likewise, likewise.
Likewise.
We are doing very well and, looking very forward to this conversation because I know it's going to be a great conversation. First off, how have you been?
Again, I'm on top of the world. I'm feeling fantabulous. Um, I'm in some new good energy. The energy is beautiful, brother Derek. I can't complain. I have no complaints. And
That's what's up.
if I did, nobody want to hear me anymore.
Well, as we said in your intro, and I hope everybody was able to check out that intro. I mean, you are quite the person, quite the man. You have you're actually out on a book tour. I know you're going to get to that in a little bit, but give us a little background on how you arrived at the point that you're at now.
Wow. D, I have 30 years. Why you give me such a broad question?
All right, so okay, let me narrow that down a little bit. What motivated you to motivate others?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That helps me so much more. Now, I could work with that question a little bit. Uh, Let me just say, now I'm gonna take it back to 30 years now. My life changed 30 years and 9 months ago. I was living a lifestyle that I wasn't proud of. I was living a life that I didn't say I wanted to be when I was in third grade. When your teacher calls you up and said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" and you go to the front of the class. I was living a lifestyle that wasn't that answer. Uh, my parents wasn't proud of me. It wasn't a good look. So to put it short, I was in the street, was using drugs, I was using alcohol, I was selling drugs, I was battling with the law, I was lost, I was confused, I was suicidal, I was a wreck.
Mm.
And uh, as humans, we're connected to God. And I lost my awareness and I lost my connection to God. And one night I decided that I didn't want to live this life anymore. And as a result of making that decision, I ended up in an emergency room with nurses looking over me saying, "Young man, you're 28 years old. You have your whole life in front of you. Why would you try to take your life?" And I said, "I don't want to live with drugs and alcohol controlling my life anymore." And from that moment on, God had a conversation with me and said, "Do I have your attention?" And I said, "Yes, you have my attention now." And I moved on with a quest with trying to heal myself, and then I started healing other people, helping people to heal themselves as well.
Fantastic.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. New York City.
New York City, though.
Okay.
Queens, New York.
Queens, New York.
You
See,
see the hat? You
yeah,
see the hat?
that must be the Queen's special hat right there.
Come on, kings wear crowns and queens. You heard me.
Hollis, all day.
Yes, sir. I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard the part in my introduction, but I said you're the fourth member of Run DMC.
Oh, hey, man, did you say that? That's a
Facts. That's what's up.
I'm sorry, I was rocking out. I was getting ready. I was getting into my zone.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. So it's an amazing story, and I mean, it's all too often that a lot of times, we get our best inspiration at our lowest point. And so once you hit that point, how did you make that transition into the author? I got a feeling I know, but I'd like to hear it from you. How did you make that transition into the author, or did you go out and become a motivational speaker before the author?
Funny that you asked, right? That, like I'm a five-time New York City Marathon finisher, right? So I run.
Mm.
So uh, I'm running, and no, let me just rewind for a second. My life falls apart. I'm living on top of the world in Queens, New York. I'm a I'm an adjunct professor. I worked at a job that was like a dream job. The same finger that was used for me to get fingerprinted and they gave me a number is the same finger I was using to get inside police headquarters, one police plaza to report to work as a part of a crisis intervention team as a social worker with NYPD.
Mm.
Living. I had my beautiful son. I had a nice co-op apartment. Had a nice whip. Life was good. And when God gives it to you, He also can take it away. So as a result of losing everything, I failed the licensing exam to turn into a social worker.
Hmm.
After that, I lost the job because I needed to be licensed. My son's mother decided she didn't want to be in a relationship with me anymore. I moved out on my own. I didn't have enough bread. I couldn't get a job. I ended up, I couldn't get a job because I assaulted someone. I assaulted someone. I was so angry. I was so angry with my life falling apart. I assaulted someone. And as a result of assaulting someone, I couldn't work. And God intervened again and allowed me to find an opportunity to to make some money and go to work. So I was able to go to work, and then a job opened up upstate New York, and I decided that might be a good opportunity for me to change my life. And I moved upstate, and when I moved upstate, I'm alone, right? I'm away from the distractions. Derek, have you ever been away from the noise, away from the crowd, and had time to think? And God has time to talk to you, and you could actually hear what He's saying. I mean, like solitude time where it's just you and Him, and you can't see what the plan is, but you can hear what He wants from you. So I'm upstate New York. I'm in Middletown. It's up in the country. It's mountains. It's deer running around. I'm like I've never seen anything like that. I'm used to pigeons and rats, and now I have deer on my walking around. It's crazy. So I get up there and I'm working. I'm working upstate and I'm running. So I'm sorry to take you through the long story, but I'm running, right?
Take your
Um,
time. Take your
It's
time.
your stage, sir.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So I'm working as a substance abuse counselor because I didn't pass the test yet to become a licensed master as a social worker. So I'm not working as a social worker. I'm a credential alcohol substance abuse counselor. So I'm working as a substance abuse counselor, and I'm running because I have my little routine. Wake up in the morning before I run. And while I'm running, I'm listening to motivational speakers. And I hear this guy named Billy Orton, and he was amazing. And he's rapping, I'm not rapping, he's doing his motivation interviewing on hip hop music and talking about God. That was like the trifecta for him. That's dude, I love this guy. And he's going through his thing, and I'm listening to him, and I listened to him for a couple of months, and then one day the next the, the next tape pops on. No, excuse me, not one day, one year. The next tape pops on. And it's a guy named Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas sounds like and Eric Thomas is screaming and he's passionate because I'm passionate. When I'm doing my groups, I'm passionate. I'm trying to help people understand that they don't have to live the lifestyle that they're living anymore. All they have to do is make a decision to change. They don't have to live with desperation, controlling their life. They don't have to live with making decisions, wanting to say no but saying yeah. They don't have to live with the loneliness. They don't have to live with not fulfilling their dreams and their goals and knowing that they're better than they live. So I'm giving it to the guy. But I'm hearing Eric Thomas, and Eric Thomas is in there, and I sound and I like what he's saying. And out of nowhere, I get inspired and say, I want to do that. Out of nowhere. See, I want to do that. So fast forward 2 more years, I get my license as social worker. Get license, I'm doing my job now as a social worker. and I'm still listening to the guy. And I'm giving I'm facilitating my groups at work with fire and passion and desire. And they say, yo,
Mm.
T, you got a lot to say. You give us this every day. The world needs to hear what you have to say. And I said, really? Then I come home and my missus, Karen, she goes, hey, you need to write a book. I said, I need to write.
Mm.
Like, where these people coming from? I need to do this. I need to do that. I'm just trying to work and make a living. So another year goes by. Another year goes by, and now I am really honing in on these motivational speaking skills. And parents said, "Yo, you need to get on YouTube. You need to get on Facebook. You need to start talking." And I said, "No, fear and doubt popped up. I said, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I said, I'm good with my group. I said, no, you need to start trying to build a community and getting a following. Do that? See so many people. You can do that. I can't do that, man. So then I decided I went to a 3-day workshop. It's called the Game Changer Experience. Went to this
Mm.
workshop, spent a lot of money. I had to wait I had to wait to get my taxes to go. You know, I was like, I don't want to go. I can't be paying people all this money, and I buy all kind of stuff that costs money, but to help develop me, I'm not interested. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to give them all that money. And guess who came to the rescue again? Canada. You got to give them that money.
Now wait
Right?
a minute, I gotta stop you for a second. You keep mentioning Karen. For the people that don't know, the people in the back, tell us who Karen is.
Karen is my twin flame.
Hmm.
Karen is the love of my life. Karen
Hmm.
is that blessing that God gave to me, and I thank Him every day. And Karen's right here. Karen, you want to
Hey girl, hey.
Karen, come on.
Stop being shy, cuz.
We got no room. We got no room over here for you.
She is welcome. Don't stop the. Hey, Karen. This is the love episode anyway. We're so glad to see your beautiful face too. Yes, indeed. How are you? Mwah.
I'm gonna go ahead and upset her. What's good, Denise?
He out here giving out people government names. That's her government now.
You ain't waste no time.
Yeah.
Out here passing out governments.
We appreciate you joining us with the wonderful man sitting to your right, and he was telling us his story, and it got to you, and it's funny when he said twin flame. It's I can see the parallels between you two and Camilla and myself, because that's exactly what I call her. We are twin flames. We're both Sagittariuses as well. So, we got that Sag energy going on. And remember when you said, Herman, when have I just kind of sat still and just listened? That's how I was able to get back with Camilla, and we got married. And it was literally in the thick of the pandemic when all of that happened. Mm-hmm. I had no choice. I was forced to sit still by myself and just listen to whatever God had to lay in front of me. And that's what led me down this path. And I'm so thankful for that. Sorry it had to happen under those kind of circumstances. But, you know what I mean? It's sometimes, if you didn't get the message out of the pandemic that God wanted all of us to slow down, take a moment, reassess, regroup, then you weren't paying attention. Sorry. So anyway, enough about us. So you were saying you got with Karen. She obviously motivated you even further. So explain that dynamic. How does that work now, as far as with you? And I'm sure we're kind of getting to that, but with you leading up into writing this book that we're going to talk about shortly.
Yeah. So thank you. And I'm working, I'm running, and I go to this workshop. And I go to this workshop, And this workshop was a workshop that helps you get some transformation in your life, helps you uh, see some self-limiting beliefs, and it helps you have a breakthrough, right? So my breakthrough was I got rid of some limiting beliefs, fear and doubt,
Mm.
and I started making excuses. I thought I didn't know I was making excuses because I thought I was a pretty successful guy. I had two master's degrees. First, I had two master's degrees. I don't even believe I had two master's degrees. It took me 16 years to get my bachelor's degree. Miss China. 16 years. I,
Wow.
I started in 1983, failed out, went back to the block, fell into the traps of drugs, hip hop, it just didn't go my way. I saw I wasn't doing the right things for the right reasons. I said, hey, I'm a little better than this. I went back to school, I failed out again. You know, if you went to school before you're supposed to have a nice GPA, my my grade point average didn't have a number in front of the decimal. It was 0.79. It kicked
Mm.
me out again. I'm home again. I'm trying to get a job. I get a job. I don't like the job. I'm fighting with the boss. He fired me. I get into a relationship. I can't hold out. I said I can't do nothing. 2 more years go by. I go back to school. I get kicked out again. And the fourth time I decided to get back to school, right? I figured it out, man. They said, hey man, you done been to three different colleges, you on a CUNY tour, you trying out every college in New York. What's gonna be different this time? And I said, well, I overcame some barriers in my life. I went through some challenges. I learned some important valuable lessons. I grew up a little bit, and now I'm ready to be committed and do what I need to do. And I went to school, and boom, it wasn't a breeze, but I graduated.
You said it.
Once
Yeah.
I graduated, I was like, wow, this is nice. I like this. I went to school and then I went and got my master's degree. And I said, this ain't bad. I went and got another master's degree. And I said, wow, you're doing the thing right now, young man. So God is amazing. And sitting at and being able to sit here and say, yo, I was a guy that couldn't even get his bachelor's degree. 16 years, trials and
Mm.
tribulations, hell and high water, not quitting, not giving up, determination, consistency, commitment, focus, perseverance. And now I'm able to sit here and say, yo, it took me 16 years, but I got it. When I fill out an application, they don't ask me how many years did it take you to get your bachelor's degree. They say, you got a bachelor's degree, yes
That's
or
it.
no? And I'm marked yes.
Yes,
There you
that's
go.
awesome. And that's what it's all about. You know, I was just watching one of your lives. I think it was this morning, Saturday post, and it just talked exactly about that. That was so motivating and inspiring. And you just explained your own story and why you speak this way. And you were talking about how doing something once is just doing it. You have to be consistent. You have to do it twice and again and again and again until you make a habit out of it. um
Ooh,
i,
very
I
true.
was I was always taught that action word thoughts becomes actions, actions become word no thoughts become words, words become action, actions become habits, and habits become lifestyles. And
That's what I was talking.
you were talking about that exactly, and I love that. I love the energy of that. And it just shows your determination that it's never too late to get back up and try again.
Speaking of which,
Uh-oh, he must have the clip. Oh, he gonna show it. Yeah.
I'm messing with her.
Did I do everything that I want to do? Have I accomplished the life that I want to live? Have I arrived? Then I looked at myself and said, no. So who am I to say I got Saturday off? No more Saturday off for me, man. At least not until my life starts looking like I want it to look. So you got to live your life intentional. Intentionality means we have to build a new lifestyle. Success is intentional. You have to visualize it, then you do it, and here's a great quick formula. Do it once It's an idea. Do it twice, it's a repetition. Do it a few times, it becomes behavior. Do it a few months, it becomes a habit. Do it for a year, it becomes a lifetime. Remember, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Consistent, constant, committed effort. So I'm glad I'm up. I'm glad God gave me the breath to breathe this morning.
Amen.
And I don't have the luxury to take today off, especially if I have some dreams and desires. This is Herman. Vision without limits is a dream. So go chase yours. Peace and blessings.
I love that.
Indeed, indeed.
Powerful.
Yes, sir.
So powerful.
Now let's talk about that sweatsuit jacket you had on.
That's a classic right there.
And might I add, look at how just thoughts travel. Has anyone else noticed that we're all four of us are in blue?
Ooh,
Has anyone else noticed that?
that's awesome. That's
I'm gonna just leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. So, cuz I gotta come to you. How is it with you? I noticed that I see that you were in DC. I think it was what, last weekend, was it? So how's the book? How's it like going out on the road with this gentleman and watching him pushing his book?
It has been phenomenal. And one of the things that did happen on the book tour was that folks in the audience saw my support for him and he gave the story on how that I'm always there pushing him. And when he couldn't see a lot of things, I was like, I see it. You can do it. There's nothing impossible. And he's hardcore. And he will shut me down in a heartbeat. Nope, I'm not doing it. Nope, nope, not happening. But eventually, after he thinks about it and sees it for himself, he takes that next step and he does it. And so I am extremely proud of him. I'm extremely proud of him even doing the book. It only took him 6 months to write that book. Whereas
Oh,
wow.
wow.
That's quick.
it takes about 6 years to write it. So I think I know the book every word by heart because I must have edited it about 100 times. And one of the things that I wanted him to put in the book, because of course, Derek, we come from a praying grandmother, and I believe that prayer
Yes.
means the world. Uh, and I wanted him to look at those chapters, and I told him, give me the book, and I went through the chapters, and I put those scriptures in there because I wanted folks to have a conclusion that at the end of the day, here's something you can eat and chew on, and it's the Word of God. So I
That literally just gave me a chill because as you're sitting there talking, I could just hear Grandma talking. I mean, you just definitely just called up her essence just with that way that you just said that. That just that sent a chill up my spine just now. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, and so I believed in that, and my prayer was that the book would change lives, but the scripture would direct and take them where they needed to go to conclude. And so it has been great. He, I mean, he was doing a podcast, I think, a few months ago, maybe in the summertime. And one of the things I said, at the end, that we all talked about it, and I said he's going to Africa. He's going to go to South. I said you're going to go to South Africa. You need to take this to South Africa. And of course, he said no. Me, who's traveled all over the world. I'm like, no, you're going to go to South Africa. And the reason I said that, South Africa is beautiful and all, but it's the farthest part of the world. It is the othermost end of Africa. And I'm like, you're going to take your book and you're going to go there. And it's so said, so done. He's on a book tour, and one of the stops is South Africa.
You beat me to it. I was just ready to post it and put it up on screen.
Wow, wow, wow.
So, and that's from just pushing him, and now, he's like a rocket. The rocket goes up slow, and then it shoots off. That's where he was. And that slow part was me saying, "You can do it, you can do it." And sometimes there's hiccups when that rocket's going up because he was just like pushing back. But I am so proud to know that he listened to me, and he does listen to me, and he's done phenomenal.
Just,
The only
like you said, just like that rocket, you got the first stage was him writing it, and you got the booster with you helping him get that extra little push to get out there into the atmosphere. So that's what's up.
And that there is definitely a real conversation between Venus and Mars, as we like to say on our podcast. He came with the emotion. See, it's not about masculine and feminine like people tend to think. Venus represents the emotions. His emotions said, "Nah, I ain't going there." And the logic that you understood because you've already traveled and you know what you saw there already, you pushed him. You were the fuel to the rocket. You were the lighter to the firecracker. You were to the dynamite stick. Yes, indeed. And that's what's so important about relationships. And so I wanted to ask, it's already been answered in your actions and what you said that you do for him as twin flames. So on the other hand, when it's time for him to move, do you always travel together, or what do you do to complement one another's and balance out your relationship?
well, I do try.
Hold on. She's the CAO, so she moving with the business.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Partnership is real.
Well,
Indeed.
my degree is in tourism, and so when it comes down to travel and setting up and finding the deals and going everywhere, and I travel the world, and I'm the one to make sure that it happens, make sure we get there on time and all that stuff. So um, it's a hard job, especially when you don't get paid much. But it's a hard job, and you know what? I do it with a smile, and
He like, that's news to me.
He said, "What?" And that's what it's all about. You love what you do. Any career that you go into, it is so important to love what you do. And it will, you do it as unto the Lord. That's what the word says. And your gifts will make room for you. And then definitely you are both gifted in those areas of your life.
She loves what she's doing so much. I was able to talk her out of being in New York and come down to VCU to go to school. And that's all I'm gonna say about that time. And I'm not gonna go any further.
Wow, wow, wow. So amazing.
down to Richmond. Yeah.
So that's a great point that I took a little note on our comments, and it was running and listening from earlier in your journey. Herman, you were talking about how you started running. And that to me, that just sent a chill through my body, because sometimes you don't even know where you're going to. Sometimes, you have to just get out there alone and run and listen for direction as you go. It's like what they call a wilderness experience until you hear from God. And then it's like, oh, that's what I was supposed to be doing, right? And I love that. I love that how you found someone that you can pass the baton back and forth to on this relay we called life, right? You like that?
I like that.
That was just dropped in my spirit. I felt that too, right? Woo! So this is the love episode. So you learned how to love yourself and to get closer to God by just taking the first step. And no matter what speed you went, no matter how many times you tripped and stopped and paused, if the delay was not denial. The delay was not denial. So tell us the name of this book. We talked about it in the introduction, but please tell us the name of the book and where we can get it.
The name of the book is called From Nothing to Almost Something. You can get it at two places. You can get it on Amazon. You can also get it on my website, Herman Taylor's, with an S, HermanTaylorsVision.com. HermanTaylorsVision.com on Amazon. It's a great book. It basically talks about a young man going through a crisis in his family and then turning into a champion. I have to answer this because this has been my mind from the questions you asked me, Barry. uh, how did I end up writing the book? So
Mm.
I went to this seminar, and the seminar said the guy who was facilitating it said, "Do an event right now." He said, find an event, do an event. You want to be a speaker, do an event." So I said, "What I'm gonna do?" So I decided to do a vision board party. So I could be a I did a vision board party so I could speak as a guest speaker at my own vision board party. So that was my great idea to be to have a speaking opportunity. So me and Karen organized a vision board party. Vision board party was phenomenal. I talked about transformations and I got a chance to speak. It went great. We did another one. That one went great. We did another one. That one went great. And at the time I was writing a book. The parent said, if you want to be a speaker, people have to know who you are. You have to put everything in the book. I said, she said, you have to put everything in the book. I said, my drug use? She said, I said, being incarcerated? She said, I said, suicide attempts? I said, my family dynamics? I said, being poor, sometimes lights on, sometimes lights off.
Mm.
I said, sometimes gas on, sometimes gas off. I said, having a phone when you gotta use a eraser because you don't never know what's the new number gonna be, she said. So having a mother with mental health issues and alcoholism, she said. I said, my
Mm.
father with gambling issues and alcoholism, she said. So I got naked. And the only and I got naked because she told me to get naked, and as uh, as a licensed social worker, as a member in a recovering community, my number one job is to help somebody. So if somebody could pick up my book, and if they could see that this guy went through some challenges, this guy overcame some rough, rough patches in his life. This guy didn't start out with a good hand, and he made it through, and he made some accomplishments. He did some things with his life. Damn it, I could do it too. So all the stripes that God gave me, they weren't for me. It was for me to help somebody. And if I could share my brokenness and connect with somebody else, then my job is done.
Indeed. And it's amazing because we've had several other guests on here that, when you hear their story, your jaw couldn't help but drop. And then at the end of that, to hear and see where they have ended up. One gentleman that we had on here served time in federal prison, and is now a dean at a college doing so many programs to help people who are formerly incarcerated get back into life and get a leg up. I mean, this man, hearing him speak, very dynamic. He was very open about his issues and what led to him being the man that he is now and doing what he's doing. So oftentimes you find that, people like that make the best at what they're doing to try to give back and to help others because they're speaking from a place of experience. And, when Karen said to you, hey, you've got to put that in there, you have to talk about it. You also have to come to grips with yourself and realize that not only is all of that going to help someone else by hearing that and saying, hey, it's possible for me. But it's also, I'm sure it also had to have helped you at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about being genuine. That's what some other guests who are counselors and reaching, especially the youth, to try to intervene before, you go through these paths. Because we can train them up and we got to have our own walk from youth into adulthood. Everybody has their own walk. And it's hard to watch our own children, nevertheless, children that we know are headed on the wrong path and we're not their parents. And the best way to reach them oftentimes is to let them know, hey, I have really been where you're headed and you don't want to go down that path. I've been there. And genuine, real, tangible speakable talk, easy to talk to people will allow people like that, young people, to open up and actually listen while they're actually running this race that we call life. And it's so amazing. It's remarkable what you're doing and what you've done and what you're still heading towards. You're still running.
So when's the next book?
Part 2.
Working on it.
I had a feeling.
I gotta. I'm trying to. I'm looking at May, June for it to be done.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
I felt that. So I want to know what the title, how did you come up with the title when you say from nothing to almost something? Break that down for us.
I like the way that flows because it tells my story in a humble way. Like it was nothing. It was no shot, no chance. And through God's grace and mercy, saw a way to guide me, to get me to a place where I'm almost something.
That's deep. That's really heavy.
And that
That
almost
is heavy.
humility piece. Don't think you're something.
And you know what I get from that title? From that title, I get that never put yourself in a position where you feel like you've arrived because you might stop doing what got you there in the first place.
That's good.
You know what I mean? That keeps that fire burning. You're almost something. We want to always be something, of course. Goes without saying. But if you can be honest with yourself and say you went from nothing to almost something, that keeps that hunger alive. That keeps that flame, that passion going. And that's, that a lot of people would look at that title and be like, almost something. Well, I am something. Well, there's your arrogance speaking.
They told us
Everybody is something.
I am
But
somebody.
if you get the deeper meaning of it, yes.
Who was that? Jesse Jackson. I am somebody.
Absolutely.
Now, I do want to just sidebar for a second. So you said you've run how many marathons? 5?
Yes, I'm a 5-time New York City marathon finisher.
That's a real marathon.
And I'm a 0 times marathon starter.
Now, we like to talk about health and wellness on this show as well. We have chosen the vegan lifestyle, and I can't say that I'm going to run a marathon, but I walk real fast. But what do you do when you're conditioning yourself? We know the work ethic of your mental discipline, but what do you do physically? Like, how do you stay healthy in this running? Like, what do you eat? What do you drink? Tell us a little bit about your health regimen.
I don't even want to tell you what I eat because I eat terrible because I have the capacity to run. So I eat terrible. But I try to eat a Mediterranean diet. I try to eat a lot of fish, a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, a lot of chicken. But then the weekend comes in the pancakes and bacon and toast. Then Karen's I'm growing her up. She's a grandmother. We got two little guys running around, 12 and 11. And they have to have snacks. They bring snacks in here. And if they didn't bring those snacks in here, China, I would be good.
It's funny that you.
Snacks call me, man.
It's funny that you bring up the little guys because I was getting ready. I was going to ask where they're at because I noticed it's kind of quiet right now. Okay.
We wouldn't even have this talk right now. And the dog will be running around, and the kids will be running.
Yeah.
So do you have any recommendations on training on how to run a marathon or?
Let me say this, right? Like, discipline is so important. Discipline is everything. And wanting to pay the price. A lot of people want to do things until they see how much, just like the way you guys are eating this, when they see how much effort is required, when they see the action that they have to take to eat the way that you eat, or the action or the effort that they have to put in to
Mm-hmm.
exercise, to run, they start out and say, "Yeah, I want to do it," but then they say, "Yo, I'm not ready to put it right now. I'm not gonna put that work in." So you have to be disciplined. Right? Like God has blessed me with the ability to be disciplined, to follow things through. So to run, right? I um I have to get up and go run. Like if this in the morning when the weather permits in the the time zone, if I can get up and run and make it to work, I can do that. Like in the spring and summer. But in the fall, I have to be able to take my game inside and do what I need to do inside to stay in shape, and then I'm ready to do what I need to do in a month when I'm able to get back outside. But you gotta be disciplined to do it, right? So if I said, well, it's cold now and it's dark when I wake up in the morning, it's dark when I come home. I can't run now. I can't get on the treadmill. I can't do none of that stuff and just say forget about it. Is it gonna happen? No, I'm gonna be like I'm not gonna be right when the weather breaks, right? So I have to be disciplined enough to say, well, if I can't run, what else can I do? If I can't run outside, what else can I do? So discipline, right? And Mike Tyson taught me discipline. Mike Tyson said, you have to do the things you hate like you love it. And that
Ooh.
resonated in my spirit, right? That resonated in my spirit.
I
That's how I
remember when
wrote.
he said that.
That's how I wrote the book. That's how I wrote the book, dude. I got up every morning at 5 o'clock and sat at the table and wrote. And when Karen got up, she came down, had a cup of coffee. I was writing. And if I didn't write the amount that I didn't want to write a lot, 5 to 7 pages a day. If I didn't write my 5 to 7 pages a day in the morning, I wrote them when I got home. I was where you going back to write. So the discipline helps me with everything, China. It helps me get up and go run. Yo, go run. You tired? I don't care if you're tired. Go run. Yo, get up. Go run. The discipline helped me write the book. I don't care if you don't want to write. I don't care if you haven't writer's block. I don't care if you don't know what to say. You don't need to go to the mountains. You don't need to go. You don't need to go sit in a cabin in the woods. You don't need to be on the beach. Sit your butt down and write.
He talking to me. All right, all
And you know
right.
what? It's funny that you said all of that just now
He
because
talking to
I was
me.
going to ask you about that. Whether or not you find kind of like your quiet space because when I was working on The Wire, I worked in the writer's office. And David Simon, I got to say this, he's a phenomenal writer. He went from the newspaper area to writing screenplays and everything like that. The man was amazing. He would just literally close his door when he got there at 7 o'clock in the morning. And he would open his door once or twice during the day, come out at like 5, 6 o'clock that night and have a full script completely written. Like from beginning to end, a full script. And his quiet place, he actually has a row home in Baltimore, and he's right on the corner is an old church that used to be there. So you know what he did? He bought the church, and that's his place to go write at. He sits in that church and he writes when he's at home. So do you find that you write better in quiet places, or are you like some folks where you got to kind of have some white noise going on in the background just to kind of keep you going?
I could do it in both. Like I'm from Howard, but I spent my adult life in Queens in 40 projects. And when I went back to school, I went back to school living in 40 projects when it was still selling crack. People were still selling crack everywhere. It was violence. It was gunshots. It was domestic violence. It was fights. And I'm in my little project apartment, and I got to do schoolwork. So I learned laser focus.
Mm.
uh, Laser focus, uninterrupted. I couldn't care what was, and if you live in the hood, it's sirens, it's helicopters, it's ambulance, it's
Everything.
fire trucks, it's gunshots. There's a lot going on. It's screaming. It's a lot happening, and I was laser focused like this, dude. So I learned laser focus, so I can like just like focus on what I need to do. But I don't mind quiet. And like if the kids are running around, man, you have to run around over there. And I'm still got to do what I got to do.
That's what's up. We wish we can bottle that up because I need the quiet. I ain't gonna lie. I got to have some quiet. I feel you. Like I said, you are preaching to the choir over here because I've been working on a book for about 15 years. And I keep saying, I can't finish because it's not quiet enough. But hopefully it'll be done.
She does. I can vouch for that.
They're like, turn it down just a little bit, y'all. What do y'all want?
I might add to that sometimes. I'm over there working on a beat and I'll have my headphones on and I'm think I'm quiet, but the little tapping or me hitting the drum pad, all of that just.
And I love it. It's a balance, though. I'm getting it done. We're getting her done. But I wanted to say that the running and the discipline, it all goes back to the same thought, the consistency. You run on a daily basis or at least a couple times a week because I heard a lesson last Sunday or the Sunday before? They said, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Stay in your word. Keep your mind right and keep your body right by conditioning yourself for what is to come. Because we can't prepare for everything, but we can get ready so we stay ready so we don't have to get ready all the time. So that is so good. That is so good. I want to talk about this hat though. I want to talk about this hat because y'all are so, I wish I had photographs of y'all fashion sense. Like y'all already, we talk about relationships and you heard in our intro, like we have on our denim jackets, y'all have on it look like y'all got on blue suede right over there, blue velvet or something is going on, nice and warm and fanciful. And I love it. And let's talk about that. People in relationships show how close they are. Some people are like, I'm not going to dress like my significant other because that's lame. That's weak. We don't got to do that. We individuals. But I love that you coordinate your fashion and just to show your closeness. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you get your fashion. What's your pointers on?
Look at that jacket.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Look at that jacket. Look at that jacket.
You see what I'm saying? He's so dapper. Like, and she is such a balance of the dapper. Just like, y'all be finessing.
That little white meat with
I love it.
oh.
Let's-
Let me just say this. We started. We came back into each other's life about four, 4 years ago. Four and some change now. Like Christmas. Like my birthday was our anniversary. So like 4 years. And I didn't know she was so stylish. I didn't know she had that fashion game. I didn't know she just stepped right out of page 39 every time. I didn't know that.
Woo! Say that again. Did she stepped out of what?
I had to put her up there.
Look at her.
Had to be fair.
This look like a Fashion Fair magazine ad right here. I'm telling you. That's crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. My bad. I forgot I was still sharing the screen. I didn't mean to put that one up there just yet.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
I can't with it. I can't with it.
See, and then this one. This looks like you at the Kentucky Derby or something. Like you just.
I love it though.
The daytime derby right now.
Okay.
See, he called it. Yeah, most definitely. Dressed up and comfortable. I love it.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like so. I didn't know she was. I didn't know she was so fly. I didn't know she was so fly. And I'm that guy. I'm that guy. So we just and Karen said, "Yo, I never met somebody that try to outdress me." The guys that they ain't never they barely match me. I'm like, yo, so this is how it's going down. So me and her just we didn't mind. We went to Atlantic City with some friends of mine when we first COVID was just breaking, and we had on these gold t-shirts, gold sparkly t-shirt with some white jeans and some Gucci slides and my
Mm.
belts and my Gucci chains, and we was walking through Atlantic City, and people thought we were celebrities. They was, yeah, they was like, "Look at the
You
picture."
are.
They was running. They was like, "Oh, who are they?" So Karen liked that, right? Karen acts like she don't like the paparazzi, but she loves the paparazzi. Right? Wherever we go, her first question is, "Babe, where we went?"
They're running the family.
We gotta get our outfits together. So that's like a double thing. And we don't. I don't mind. I think I'm kind of. This is what I call it. Fat. I stole this from Fat. I match her flower.
Hey.
And you're passing it on. Look at that young man. Look at that young man. Got him in a suit, looking sharp, but still got his youth about him with the T-shirt on underneath. I like it. I like it.
I love it. There's no limit on fashion these days. We used to have the matchy. They say no more matchy. What's y'all opinion on that? Can you wear plaids and stripes? Can you wear flowers and polka dots now?
Whoa.
Depending how big the stripes are and how big those polka dots are.
Break it down.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton came out with this polka dot thing. This is before Pharrell took over, and Pharrell, sorry. And I walked in the store and I saw all that polka dot, and I was like, I can't do it, can't do it. All the pins, the extent of it, and I love fashion. It's like one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
My father used to say when I was young, he goes, "You always looking like you're rich," and I was never rich. I'm still not rich, but I feel like when you look good, you feel good, and you feel rich. And even on a bad day, if I look good, I feel good. So fashion to me is, it's good. We dress so much alike that he at one point said we need to do a magazine or a book
The
with
pictures
all
we
our
had.
with all our fashion
Just
because
the pictures.
right.
China, if you see these pictures, I'm telling you, people say, "Yo, can I take a picture of?"
Yes.
They be
Yeah.
clicking camera when they taking pictures of us.
Yeah. One
That's what's up.
year for his birthday, we went out to dinner, and we were in this restaurant, and we looked really nice, whatever we had, some furs on or whatever, and we just asked the people to take a picture.
They
And
were crazy.
it was like paparazzi. Oh my gosh, they went nuts. Went nuts.
Mm,
We do get a lot of compliments about what we wear and how we wear. He wears pink. He wears stripes. And there's a lot of men that won't do that.
They went pink. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was first.
He was first.
I was first. 2003. I was wearing pink. I was wearing pink before it was in style.
We breaking D out of his brown and black and gray. We breaking him out of it. Slowly but surely. We're
slowly
gonna break
but
him out of
surely,
it.
yes.
Yes.
And yes, Denise, I still wear the browns.
And can I just go ahead and put you on blast tonight?
Uh-oh.
Tonight, I just want to mark this milestone because on tonight, as they say in the South, on tonight, Derek D. Groove Washington is now donning his very first ever in life denim jacket. Y'all give it up for him. Give it up for him, y'all. Give it up for him. He was like, babe.
It hit me at the last second. I put it on to come out here, and I was like, wait a minute. This is the first time I've ever had a denim jacket on.
So I said, now get a black one.
So she saw that crack, and she's trying to get me to go further. So I had to get out of that comfort zone I was in. I'll admit it. I got stuck on browns. I like the earth tones, and it's either cream, off-white, light brown, khaki brown, chocolate brown. I mean, you name the browns, I wear them.
Yeah, the most risk he would take with the Redskins logo. As long as it's the Redskins color, he was happy. Right?
Yes.
Derek come outside his color box when I had an all black birthday party in Virginia.
Wow.
And I said no one would get into this party without wearing black. It had to be black, and he did wear black. So Have you
It's
ever
funny
been?
you brought that up because I was trying to wait for the right moment to bring that party up, but that's perfect. I still remember that party to this day, and it was, I mean, literally when she says all black party, black balloons, black food, black cake. I mean, everything
Wow.
was black.
She know how to
Tulips were
party.
black. I had tulips that were black.
Tulips, were, yeah, everything
Ooh.
in there black.
Wow.
It was nice.
I like
In
that.
an apartment.
I like that you go all the way. You don't play. Angel said that dressing alike is fun. It's fun. It's so much fun, and that's part of success. She said we are individuals and we are one as well. Because she's a newlywed too. That's so beautiful. I love Angel. That's my girl. Besides, dressing alike is fun, and it's just amazing how we can be creative and be consistent. So it all ties in together to the disciplines of the work ethic. But on top of all of that work ethic, you guys have so much fun. It exudes from you the joy and the happiness that you share together, and it's almost like she couldn't stay off to the side. We had to bring you on, like, come on over here.
She
was
was waiting.
ready.
She was waiting to make her grand entrance. That's what it was.
There is. Your deep room. She was ready. You see the shirt, right?
Yeah, I see.
I didn't know. Forgive me, because I would have put both of y'all on the flyer. I promise. Yes, indeed. And so, from nothing to almost something, and I can only imagine what this sequel is going to be to this book that's coming out next. Y'all heard it here first. Herman Taylor.
I love that cover too. By the way, that's
Oh,
a nice
yeah.
cover. Yes.
Yes,
A lot
indeed.
of thought went into that cover. The only thing that's missing in the cover is his hat. It's a hat.
Mmm. I'm sure it will make an appearance on the next one, right? See, the next one should be just the hat.
Ooh. No, that ain't gonna fly. He gotta show his fly on that one. He gotta show the gear. He gotta show the look. He gotta show the almost something. Yes, indeed. And so, you guys have any words of encouragement for someone who's on the journey that you would really, really like to say concerning how to stay disciplined mentally? What is your main key, your main jewel?
You know, you got me stuttered. I would like, when I stutter when I get excited, I would just love to tell people to trust their vision, their imagination, and their ideas. People, people are so quick to discount their vision, what they see in their imagination and their ideas. And they're so worried about what people are going to say, what people are going to do, who's going to support them, who's not going to support them. They're going to laugh at them. That stops them in their tracks. You have to go into a place where you just have a burning desire that says, I'm going to be, do, and have the life I want to have, and I don't care who's with me or who's against me. I'm gonna make it happen no matter what. So until you're able to get to that state, because everybody has that power. All four of us here have have attained things that we want, and nothing stops us from getting those things that we want. You just have to bring that same fire, desire, and passion to everything that you want, and you'll have it. Nobody stops you but you. Nobody gets away but you. You have to be clear. You have to have a clear vision. You have to have a you have to have a clear target. You have to know what you're aiming at. If you don't know what you're aiming at, you're not going to get it. You can't hit a target you can't see. So you have to be crystal clear. You have to have clarity. And when you see what you want, now you start to put together your movement action plan. You start breaking that down. What is it going to take? What do I have to learn? Who do I have to be? What do I have to do? How am I going to actualize my vision? What do I have to do? So when you get there, now you're getting close. So now you have to get into your movement action plan. You gotta get committed now. You gotta say, so every day I'm gonna do 3 actions to get me to where I'm going. And you can't be pausing, you can't be stopping, you can't be fooling yourself with negativity. So when you're moving towards your goal, right? You're moving towards your goal, and then you hit that stop and go, I can't do that. Why you can't do that? You can't let fear pop in and stop. When fear pops in, how am I gonna work around this fear? I'm like, fear's here, but I get to decide if it's gonna stop me. I get to decide how I'm gonna get around this. You don't get to decide. You have to challenge yourself. You got to ask yourself the right question. How am I going to get past this? When I get to an obstacle, China, I go, ooh. And those 2 O's mean opportunity and obstacle.
Oh my goodness.
But how am I going to get through this? What am I doing? What am I going to do? They ain't going to stop me.
This sounds like a halftime speech when you're down by 21 and the coach is digging into you.
I got tears in my eyes.
I'm getting ready to jump up out this chair and go out for the second half right now.
I'm telling you. He preaching my soul together.
Nobody's going to stop you but you. So many people, you are so close, but you stop before you get there.
True that.
Before you get to where you're going. You say it's too hard. I can't do it. I'm going to quit. Why? I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough money. The stars not lined up right. I've been doing this for 2 years already. Well, apparently it takes 3 years to do.
Whew. You got me, bro.
If you
got me.
I was gonna say, if you see the view that I'm seeing, I see tears welling up in her eyes. So I know you definitely hit home with that.
Real. It's real.
And just seeing you bring that fire just now, I can only imagine what it's like sitting in an audience when you giving a motivational talk.
We got to bring the book tour down here.
In that short instant, in that short minute and a half span right there, you went from this calm, cool, collected brother explaining what was going on to that fire just lit all of a sudden like a rocket engine, and it was just like ignition.
But when he said the 2 O's, right, I saw 2 lenses, the 2 O's. One lens is obstacles and one lens is opportunity, right? Which lens are we going to look through? Because everybody has a different level of vision in their eyes. Nobody's got really 20/20. Everybody got 20/18 or 20 something, a little less on one side. And it's always going to be that good and evil, like they show the angel and the devil on the shoulder. And which voice are you going to listen to when you're on the mountain, you're on climbing a mountain? I thought about the first time I took a 12-mile hike and how the elevation was so high that I was nauseous. My chest was getting tight. I had a lump in my throat. And the closer that I got to the top of the hill, the more I kept saying, I can't. And my guide reached out his hand and he said, come on. And so I put my hand out and I reached. And when I looked over the peak, we were at the parking lot. That's how close that we were to the end of the line. I was like, I can't go no further. But, I'm just saying that to say, just thank you for sharing everything that you have gotten, that has downloaded in you from God into your spirit, into your soul, into your mind and your heart. And I'm looking forward to getting my own copy signed of your book because I haven't received mine yet. So from nothing to almost something. This is so awesome. It's so amazing. And I don't even know what else to say. You brought me to tears. Life is lifing. And I know that I'm not the only person in this season that is feeling everything that's going on in life. We're on this earth and we're in the world, but not of it. And we have to be transformed. We have to be transformed and not conform to what is around us. And so thank you for showing us your triumph. 16 years is nothing if you can live to see it happen. And
Indeed.
you are living the vision. And that's so dope. I'm sorry. I'm rambling. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Ooh, I hate to ask you, cuz, but can you follow up with that? What's your thoughts?
What is
I mean,
your
that's a tough.
Yes.
Yeah, it's tough following that.
Right at all, man. You're right at all.
She's like, what? Let me show you something. Roll her sleeves up real quick.
You know what? I would say this: trust the process, right? It's gonna get hard. It could get grueling. It could get easy. Trust the process and keep your eyes on the Most High because He will help you to get through it. Um, you have to have that foundation, and the foundation too helps because when you want to give up, when you think it's over, it's not over. It's not over. And just how you said, Tron, you got to the top, and then you look down and you saw that parking lot.
Right? It was
That
right there.
That's what a lot of people miss. They miss that part of it because you just don't know if that next step will get you closer to where you want to be or get you there. And so, one of the things I talked to them about too is hope. You know, since COVID, um, folks have lost hope in everything, just about.
True.
And we can't, in all that we do, and looking at our vision and aiming for it and going for it, we can't lose. We cannot
Bless you.
lose hope.
You claiming your hope. That's my
You
TED
have
talk. That's
to,
a topic for my TED talk.
Wow.
you have to hold on to hope. And so long as you have hope, you will make it. And you will get through anything and everything, and you will meet your vision and more. And that's the key.
Wow.
We're coming to North
Woo.
Carolina, August 17th. You all need to come in. We're going to be in Charlotte.
In Charlotte,
In
right?
Charlotte. Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's right around the time of our anniversary, so we got a lot going on that week. But we'll
definitely need to
pencil
plug
it in
in.
on our calendar. Yeah,
We need to plug in.
definitely.
Like Voltron. I'm telling my age right there. We Voltron. Lock in. Wow. From nothing to almost something.
Let me
Oh,
tell you,
gosh.
it's like writing this book. Like I didn't want to write a book. I wasn't a fan to write a book. Again, Karen was like, "Come on, you got to write the book." My aim was to be a motivational speaker. So I'm looking at motivation. I'm looking at prices. I'm looking at how they motivational speakers get paid, and motivate author speakers make a little more. So I said, I better write this book because I want to
Mm.
and my just feet. So that was a real push, but it's opening my life to so much more. Like I didn't even know. Like people are reading my book and telling me that like wow, your story is so inspirational, and I'm a believer. Right? I'm a child of God. I'm working in God's grace, and God is using me and my book to connect with people through my story. And I want to connect with millions of people. So this book is just opening up doors and helping me. Like we would be going to Africa if I wasn't on this book tour. Like we would have went, but we wouldn't have went like it wouldn't have made sense. And I just
Mm.
think that little thing like things make sense. Like when your vibe is on a different level, you start attracting things. Things
Mm-hmm.
come for you to manifest. When your consciousness is like to win. You want a conscious success wavelength. You start to get around winners, right? Like Karen's a winner. You start to get around winners. You start meeting people that stimulate you. That you guys are talking about ideas. You guys are talking about how you're gonna be better. What's a good plan? How can we solve this problem? How should we go? How should we become better people? You're not just gossiping and talking about nothing. And when you're on that wavelength, when you're on that vibe, life, we start seeing opportunities. We start seeing opportunities. As soon as we saw South Africa, we were like, South Africa, because we already opening the tools for South Africa. And this book has helped us plan the date. So this book is just opening up things that I never would have thought. I just wanted to speak and say, hey, I need 5 figures to speak. That's what I need. That's why I wrote this book. That was my goal. My goal wasn't going around the world. My goal wasn't to work on literacy. My goal wasn't recovery and wellness throughout the United States as well as abroad. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to go into prisons and speak, go into rehabs and speak. That wasn't my goal. My goal was just, yo, I need 5 figures. We just need 5 figures. That's what I need. So I wrote this book and
You
counted the
wrote.
and tell everything. And as a result of me telling everything, now I'm able to reach more audience. I can reach the audience of mental health and suicide. I can reach the audience of trauma. I can reach the audience of adult children and alcoholics. I can reach the audience of addiction. I can reach the audience of ex offenders. I can reach the audience of marathon runners. I can reach a lot more audiences.
Indeed, indeed.
I'm glad she made me honest. I'm glad she
Oh,
made me
wow.
honest.
You wrote the vision and made it plain. And and you walking.
Habakkuk 2:2 coming right at you.
It's so clear. It's so clear. I mean, and there's no other way to do it. You couldn't see beyond what you were writing, but as you started writing, it's just like the running. I'm preaching to myself. Come on, I done preached myself happy right there. Listen, you didn't know how much you were going to do until you started writing. You didn't know how much you were going to reach, in what places, in what rooms. My prayer this year was to be in new rooms in new regions. And you are inspiring us right now and confirming that God is going to do it. New rooms and new regions is all over you two, and it's a blessing to even call you family. It's a blessing to even hear you speak to us and take the time out of your busy schedule, and you will be blessed abundantly for knowing that you could be getting paid to have this conversation, but out of the love and the motivation to help others. You just don't know who you may be reaching on this platform, and we thank you and we bless you.
Indeed.
We thank God for your lives, and may he continue to increase you, refresh you, restore you in every area, in your creativity, in your writing, in your clarity, in your health. Listen,
In
everything.
your fashion sense.
Yes, in your fashion. Everything. He gotta break it up. Oh,
I had to hit you with at least one more before we
Is
got
it
up out of here.
Gucci?
You know what I'm saying?
I was with my friend when China was doing her thing. I was praying.
I know, but
listen, we give thanks for all things in here. Especially,
amen.
listen, he gave you the eyes to see in every area of your lives, not just for the vision of what you wrote about, but you wear it well. You both wear it well together. I love it.
Indeed. And I'm definitely happy for you, cuz, that you found your twin flame, and likewise, Herman, brother. You know, it was definitely good meeting you at the reunion and everything. And you know, we definitely look forward to more from the dynamic duo.
Yes.
In the future.
Yes, indeed.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah.
It was an honor and a privilege to meet you two and Winston. I mean, your energy. We connected immediately, and I stepped away. And China, you politic with Karen, aka Denise, and the next thing I know, yo was talking about I'm coming to speak somewhere, and I was like, I'm coming wherever. I didn't know we was gonna be here doing this, what we're doing today, but you two put something together. Y'all put it in the air. And I was like,
Indeed.
just call me.
To God be the glory. This is just, we didn't know either. All we know is when God speaks through others, we better be listening.
Yeah.
attend our
And
ear.
you know, I can honestly say this with some of the connections that I have in this community now. You know, I can honestly say that I will be an advocate of yours if you want to, you know, some other opportunities to come speak somewhere. I will put that out there. There's a gentleman that we know, Leon Jackson. He runs a project called Project Point Five. Very inspirational brother. He is the same. He does the same kind of deal where he, you know, helps out ex-offenders as well as motivating young to not even be an ex-offender. You know, that's his thing. He tries to get you before and he helps you out after as well. So, I mean, you know, I can see the two of you linking up as well as the other gentleman that I spoke on earlier who is a dean at the college where I work at. And I mean, that would be a very powerful coming together of minds and like-minded individuals with the same goals. So I can give you my promise right here that I will definitely put that in the atmosphere with all of those gentlemen and see what we can work on that, because you know it's all about giving back, and you know that's why Camilla and I started this podcast. You know, yes, eventually we'll have some names on here as far as celebrities or what have you, but our main goal is to give back and to inspire. You know what I mean? And if we feel like we can reach people, whether it be from our words or our guest words, then that's the best case scenario for us. Anything else is just icing on the cake. So again, thank you both for joining us. It's definitely been a pleasure. I'm not kicking you out or nothing, but you know, I just
It's because we all one body, you know. No matter how far, no matter how near, we all one body. If we all believe, we all believers, and it doesn't take anything but a connection. You know, you plug in. We used to say in the streets, "You the plug." No, he's the plug, right? So if we just have to stay connected to him and listen when he says, "Go over there and talk to them," or "Go over there and be quiet and listen to them," right? So running and listening—that is the jewel that I got today. Running and listening. I'm gonna get my butt up in the morning and go outside, no matter how cold it is, and stop paying for Planet Fitness every week when it's cold, every month when it's cold, and just go on and use that membership like I should. Do it. Just do it like Nike, right? Oh, that's a cliche.
we didn't get paid for that.
We didn't get paid for that. I'm sorry.
Trust your vision, your imagination, and ideas. Trust the process and keep your mind on the Most High. I mean, what else needs to be said?
That's the whole message today.
I would like to say one more thing. I admire you guys for, for starting this podcast and creating this platform. And I'm just gonna try this. It's in my heart just to share with my mentor, Tor me. That's why I am. That's why I post 5 days a week, and now it's 6 days a week. He told me to. He said, if you're trying to be relevant, if you're trying to help people, if you're trying to be available, you have to be consistent. So I don't care if the dog is fighting the cat, if you broke, if you're not feeling good, show up every morning and do your post. And if you show up every day, 5 days a week, and post it on 3 different platforms, at the end of the year, you're gonna have, I forgot what the number was, like 700 posts. So he said, just show up. He said, people need to be able to rely on you. He said, how would you like it if you was a restaurant and you was selling the best burgers in town, and you sell burgers on Tuesday, and people come Wednesday, you close. You know, people come Thursday, you close. Then they come on Saturday and you open, but then they can't depend on it, so they're not gonna come looking for you. So what I want to share with you guys is just be here and be available every week, no matter what. Like if one person view or 1,000 views, you guys be here and make it do what it do on that consistency vibe. And you're building content, and you're building reliability, and you're building relevancy. So just watch it blossom.
I received that.
Definitely. Wow. And on that note,
On that note,
I mean, there's nothing else that needs to be said. Thank you once again to the both of you for joining us. We definitely appreciate you. We love you both. Go out and get your copy.
from nothing to almost something. Herman Taylor, the vision guy.
You can get it from www.hermantaylorsvision.com.
Yes.
Or you can go to amazon.com and search for From Nothing to Almost Something. That's by Mr. Herman Taylor, with an assist by Karen Denise.
The CAO.
Yes. Well, thank you once again for joining us. We appreciate you spending some of your time on this Saturday evening.
Thank everyone for tuning in, as usual.
Yes. We thank you all for catching us on whatever platform you caught us on, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and for those of you who are catching us on the replay/rewind.
Share.
Share, like, subscribe.
Subscribe,
like, share.
And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can contact us at
www. No.
Email us.
You can email us at ChynaGrooveProduction@gmail.com. Once again, ChynaGrooveProduction@gmail.com. And I'm speaking slow for a reason.
That's China with a Y. Groove with a oov.
Or if you don't feel like listening to the sound of my voice, look at the bottom of your screen, and it's right there at the bottom of your screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom, boom.
And on that note, once again, thank you from up top, the NY Hollis Queens. And from Staten Island to Brooklyn to, I took it there. To Shaolin.
She everywhere, y'all never there.
I love
Don't make me break out the Kim Woo.
Uh-oh.
The Kim Woo. She coming. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
All over here with the Shaolin.
God bless
I took
y'all.
him back with that one. Well, bless you all. Have a great night. Go spend some time with the family. Enjoy the rest of your evening and weekend. And thank you for joining us once again.
It was a blast. It was a fantabulous time. Thank you so much. It was an honor and my privilege for you guys to have us on. And this was just like hanging out on a date night with your fam, man. This was incredible.
Indeed. All right. Appreciate y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Woo.
I done laughed, I done cried, my cheeks hurt. I'm gonna have to go put my night cream on and make sure that I'm lifting.
Wait a minute. So that would be your what?
My Mary Kay Time Wise Night Restoration Cream. Did I say that right, director? I'm gonna get it right. Anyway, y'all know you should wash your face twice a day. You should cleanse your face twice a day. Moisturize with your day cream for the daytime with your SPF 30 at least. And then wrap it up at night with your night cream. Yes. Stay rejuvenated. And don't forget your eye cream. If y'all need that, DM me. Kimia Collins, Beauty Consulting on Facebook. If you need that Mary Kay, I'm your girl.
What more can I say?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
a wrap. It's 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 a wrap.